So tonight we're going to talk about 3 different 40s that are concerning the children of Israel. And 40 always means judgment or God's proving something. Like the flood, we would call that judgment. But what else did he prove? He saved the righteous, right? And then when Moses went up on the mountain 2 times, both times it was 40 days and 40 nights. So tonight we're going to talk about some more 40s. And what I want to talk about first is God's care for the children of Israel. Just think about, you're in a desert. And one thing that God did for them, this is Exodus 13:21. And the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of a cloud to lead them by the way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light, to go by day or to go by night. So they would travel at night too. And you think about it being a desert, it might be better to travel at night, right?
Yeah.
But then they had enough light to light up. There was 2.25 million people to light up the whole path for all of these people. Then when that pillar would stop or the cloud would stop, it would rest on the tabernacle. And then this is the kind of care that God gave them. He told them when to walk. He told them when to stop. Right? And when that cloud rested, like it rested at Mount Sinai, they were there for a year. But I want to tell you something. The distance from Mount Sinai to the Promised Land, to Kadesh, which is just below the Promised Land, is only 11 days. It's 11 days journey. I want you to remember that. Okay? But anyway, this pillar, God was revealing his presence to them. He says, I'm here. I'm going to help you. I'm going to guide you. Just follow me. After they left Mount Sinai, like I said, it was 11 days trip, right? And they got to Kadesh Barnea. And when they got there, Moses had this idea. He wanted to send in spies. So he took one from each tribe. So there were 12 men, right? And 2 that I'm going to name. The others, I don't need to name because you'll see why. Of the tribe of Judah was Caleb, and of the tribe of Ephraim was Joshua. And Joshua, Yoshua, is the same name that in Greek is Jesus. Joshua and Jesus are the same name. Yeah. So he was a type. And that's another thing I want to bring out, is that everything that happened to these people happened to them so we could learn from what's going on back there. We can learn about how God deals with his people, how God cares with his people, and he passes judgment. So he sends the spies in. And guess how long they were there in the land? 40 days. You know why? 40 days they were in that land. They were proving what God said was true. It was a land flowing with milk and honey. And they didn't have to dig wells. They were already dug. They didn't even have to plant fields. They didn't even have to build houses. Everything was there for them. They just had to trust God.
Something like a paradise.
Exactly. It was the promised land. And they didn't have to do anything but believe that God would help them. And he was willing to do it. But when those spies came back, 10 of them gave a bad report. They said, hey, the cities are all walled and there's giants there. And we're like grasshoppers in their sight. So what they decided was they wanted to go back to Egypt. This is Numbers 14:4. And they said one to another, let us make a captain and let us return to Egypt. Can you believe that God brought them all that way? And that's what they want to do. Well, Joshua and Caleb, they rent their clothes. And those 2 said, hey, we're ready to go take this land. They said, it's exactly what was promised. It's a beautiful land. It's flowing with milk and honey. And they said, we be able to possess it. They were saying that because they were going to rely on God, because he said he would fight for them. So let me tell you what happened. God caused a plague to come upon those 10 spies who gave a false report. That 40 days was supposed to prove that God was keeping his word, and they gave a false report, and every one of them died. So, God passes judgment on these people who want to go back to Egypt. They had said, oh, our children are going to be a prey. And this is what God says to them. This is Numbers 14:23. Surely they shall not see the land which I swear unto their fathers, neither shall any of them that provoked me. They're not going to see it. Verse 29, your carcasses shall fall in the wilderness, and all that were numbered of you, according to your entire number, from 20 years old and upward, which have murmured against me. And your children shall wander in the wilderness 40 years, and bear your whoredoms, because they were whoring after Egypt, until your carcasses be wasted in the wilderness. Now this is a part I want you to think about. After the number of the days in which ye searched out the land, how many was it? 40. Okay, after that number, 40 days, each day for a year. That's how he came up with 40 years of wandering in the wilderness. 1 year for every day that those spies told the lie. Each day for a year shall ye bear your guilt, even 40 years, and ye shall know my breach of promise. Exodus 16. Exodus 16. Okay, so as soon as they got out, well, it makes sense that they're hungry, okay? And this is what the Lord said unto Moses. This is chapter 16, verse 4. And the Lord said unto Moses, behold, I will rain bread from heaven. I want you to remember that he's saying from heaven. For you, and the people shall go out and gather a certain rate every day, that I may prove them whether they will walk in my law or not. And it came to pass, verse 10, as Aaron spake unto the whole congregation of the children of Israel, that they looked toward the wilderness, and behold, the glory of the Lord appeared in the cloud. And Moses spake, and the Lord spake unto Moses. Can you imagine speaking to God with that cloud? There's another verse where it says, the children of Israel saw his acts, but Moses knew his ways. They didn't really know God. They didn't have that opportunity that we have to have God living in us. They didn't have that. The children of Israel ate manna for, guess how long? 40 years. Now I want to tell you what David said about that manna. This is Psalm 78 and verses 23 and 24 and 25. Though he had commanded the clouds from above, and opened the doors of heaven, and had rained down manna upon them to eat, and had given them the bread of heaven, man did eat angels' food. That's why I said it came from heaven. Man did eat angels' food. Food he sent them, bread to the full. And then he also caused an east wind to come and gave them quail too. So what I'm trying to show you is how he cared for these people, and that he didn't stop caring for his people. We're his people, and he cares for us. But now I want to tell you what Jesus said. And in John 6, 31 through 35. Okay, let me explain what happened. Jesus had just fed the 5,000. Okay, so that's like a pretty big miracle, right? Okay. Well, he's talking to the people, and the people are asking him questions. Then said they unto him, what shall we do that we might do the works of God? If anyone wanted to know what works you can do, this is it. Jesus answered and said unto them, this is the work of God. It's the only thing you can do. that ye believe on him who he has sent. Believe on Jesus. He's the only way. I'm the way, the truth, and the life. Verse 31. Our fathers did eat manna in the desert, as it is written, he gave them bread from heaven to eat. Then Jesus said unto them, truly, truly, I say unto you, Moses gave you not that bread from heaven. Who gave it to him? God. That's right. But my Father giveth you the true bread from heaven. For the bread of God is he which comes down from heaven and gives life to the world. Then they said unto him, Lord, give us this bread. And Jesus said unto them, I am the bread of life. He that cometh to me shall never hunger, and he that believeth on me shall never thirst. But I said unto you, that ye also have seen me, and believe not. All that the Father giveth me shall come to me, and him that cometh to me I will in no wise cast out. Truly, truly, verse 47, I say unto you, he that believeth on me hath everlasting life. It's something that you have. It's not something you can lose. You own it. You have it. And the Holy Spirit inside of you is a down payment that he's going to be collecting on when either you pass away and meet him or he returns. Either way, you're going to meet him. 48, once again he says, I am the bread of life. Your fathers did eat manna in the wilderness, and they're dead. This is a bread which comes down from heaven, that a man may eat thereof and not die. I am the living bread, which came down from heaven. If any man eat of this bread, he shall live forever. And the bread that I will give is my flesh, which I will give for the life of the world. I like that he talks about it being the world. Some people think he only died for people who are going to turn to him, but he didn't. There's a passage in Matthew 13. I wasn't planning on talking about this, but it's pretty good. It relates that whole idea. Matthew 13:43, 44. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a treasure hid in a field, the which when a man has found, he hideth, and for joy thereof goeth and sell all that he has, and buys the field. Well, if you know from other parables, the field is the world. And the treasure that's hidden in the field is us. But he has to buy the whole field. He has to pay the price for the whole field, for the whole world, to get the treasure out of the world. So, I want to talk about that manna just a little bit more. What happened was, they could only gather enough for one day. If they tried to keep it till the next morning, it would get worms in it and it would stink. So, of course they tried to do it. These people. Of course they tried to do it. And then God would give them double on Friday because didn't want them working on Saturday, on the Sabbath. And that day it would keep. Wonder how that happened. But what I want to talk about is what God commanded Aaron to do, to take a bowl, a gold bowl, and fill it with an omer of manna, and that was to be put in the Ark of the Covenant. And think about it, it never, ever spoiled. So what was in the Ark of the Covenant? The bread from heaven. Everything in the Ark of the Covenant represents Christ. The other thing, the 10 Commandments, his perfection, right? And the last thing, Aaron's rod that budded. I just want to tell you a little bit about this. They were all complaining that Moses and Aaron were in charge and they didn't like it, and why do you get to tell us what to do, blah, blah, blah. And so God told Moses, have an elder from each tribe put their staff in front of the testimony. And they did. So there were 12 staffs, and Aaron had his. And then the next morning when they came in, Aaron's rod had not only budded, it had actually produced almonds. And it was dead. It was a dead piece of wood. So they put that in the Ark of the Covenant, and that represents Christ being dead, completely dead in the tomb, and coming back to full life. So that's what that all represents. So that's going to be it for the lesson for tonight.